Greetings and welcome to Factorio. I'm Dgray, and today we continue our entry level to Megabase, where we just got our production science up and running. So in between episodes, I just remembered a rather important thing. Right now we're running 20% productivity in these, but if we upgrade to assembly machine number 3, we'll be able to put in 2 more, further slowing down the speed of these crafts and actually making it so we can probably use even less when doing this. So that is quite exciting and something we should probably remember in the future, that we can put in so many productivity. So hopefully, even with more speed than these, this should still be a good setup. At least this is running a lot slower now, but yeah, that is what I want, to try and save some resources. So that also means that I should probably get the last one up and running before we go into space science. But before that, I just want to make sure that we are producing enough productivity modules in our little setup over here. Let's just add these and maybe give them some speed upgrade, just to make it work a bit faster. What we also could do, if they were using too much power, we could add some efficiency modules and then use the productivity afterwards. But what if we just add speed for now? That goes a lot faster. Can we even supply it fast enough for it to run non-stop? That is the question. Yeah, let's upgrade this to request 50 at a time instead. Then we hopefully can keep it up like this. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and 1, and 1. Then we'll give it a bit of speed, just to see what happens. That's all the 1 with speed and with the improved input. Then we need this one, needs a bit of an upgrade as well. You can go to 50 to 50. Probably don't need more than 10 here. Let's at least start with that. Let's just blueprint this around. Here, here, there, and here, and here. And then we just need to add some speed to it. And then the last 2 right here will need a bit more. Let's get you to 50 as well. And maybe a bit more than 5 at a time. Let's get you to 10. So hopefully this can give us a lot more productivity modules. We'll just have to monitor the situation with our advanced circuits. That's probably gonna run into some issues right now. So this is working, it's producing. We'll fix our advanced circuits in a little bit. Right now I just want to set up the last science, or at least make the blueprint for it, which will be, oh, I ran past it, over here to the left. Yeah, let's try and go over that and see how all of this goes. So right here, let's just get you down. And let's see, how should we build the last one? For what I'm looking at, pretty much flying it all in will be the solution. So what if we just take, where's at this one? I'd like to steal all of you, please, and add you in down here. Of course, I will want to take it without the requested yes, and add it right here. Should we get the next speed one down? We might as well, so we can start to add productivity to all of this. And now we're going to run into, this is going to empty out so fast. Same with our blue or processing units, that's going to be an issue as well. So let's just make sure that we can fix it. For now, let's just only activate these two, since that's the only two we have productivity in. And I think that will be the best solution. Please just gather a bit more time. 10, 10 and 10. Then we'll at least have a bit flowing in. So that should be all for science producing. At least as soon as we set up some low density structure. But before that, I really need to solve our issues with the circuit condition. So let's just go and have a look what is going to run out first. If you look at production tab, we are still keeping up in terms of all of our resources. This is just a bit lower since we have buffered a bit. But what is our production caps on these two? That is 13k it seems. So the 7k we're using right now should be easy manageable. That shouldn't be that bad. In terms of, yeah, it should be good. How about steel? How's steel looking? Steel and plastic. That is way further down. Steel might need an upgrade. We are pretty much running at max, but yeah, that is something we'll look at in a little bit. So let's redesign these two. We could probably move them a bit closer together and do the same setup as before. So the setup I want to use is pretty much, where is it at? Could use this setup right here, having the circuits in the middle, outputs, or the other way around, input to this one. And just keep it like this. So what if we do something like that? Let's just set it up over here, or we could dismantle the one up here and do it here instead. But let's just do it here. So we'll need beacons. We will need assembly machines. Oh, we'll need to have a bit of space in between them. Or we could do something like this maybe. Wait, sorry, something like, will this work? No, we'll need one spot. Then we might as well just hold it on the same line. Doing in at pretty much that ratio with the requested chess up top. So here, here, and here, and an output one. Then we can also add more beacons for the future. It will waste a bit of space. I don't really mind that right now. I'd rather get something that's running optimally. Green circuit's good, red is fine. We could probably use it for both. So if we do this one in the middle with 2 on the outside, that will produce, what is that, 4 a second. This one uses 6 a second, so this is somewhat a good ratio, and we could stay with that. Pretty much splitting this one between 2, so doing this maybe might be good, as we've done before. We'll just have to make room for it. Oh, we can actually fit him in here. or we can just skip the last one out here and move all of this into the middle. So what if we start it right here? Then we can add one more on the side. Don't really mind the other thing. And then let's just do this as well, to be honest. Oh, that goes out way too far. So cut and move you in. This is pretty much the range we'll go with. So what's a good missile spot for this one? Let's see. That is... Let's do something like here. Maybe one in. And how does this look if we copy it up? Like that. That means we can move it up a bit more to have it align maybe right here. I think that'll be fine in terms of beaconing. Then we'll just need in, out, in. And then we can actually fit in a substation right here in the middle. Yeah. That looks somewhat good. Can we then just to see if it's doable, move you to over here, getting a second substation, then a third one over here. It's maybe one more substation than needed, but it should work. And let's just get the last one down so we have the blueprint we want. There we go. So that will be going that way, that way, that one. The last, oh, that's because it did, oh, what is this miss? Didn't I want them to overlap? Didn't I just say that was what I wanted? So maybe if we just stop this one, try and move this, please. Kind of want it to overlap. But will that ruin our beacon? It shouldn't. Okay, let's see this. That'll overlap to here. That will ruin the beacons, but it will give us room for a bit more. Let's just do this. To here. Let's remove these, get them down correctly. To actually right there if we wanted to. We'll then have you overlapping. Can we skip this one then? And skip that one? Can if we do it there instead. Oh, that's just one in the middle. That's not in the right spot. That we can fix by just moving this to the right and adding you in there instead. That should cover it all. Is that correct? And let's do this. So how's that for a setup? We have this one inputting that way, both ways. Hopefully this will give us what we need. Then we can pretty much just stamp this upwards and get a nice little setup. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. Productivity, we can't really add it yet. We are still lacking a bit behind in terms of getting them produced. But let's just request what we need. This one will need quite a bit. You can get a few hundred. This one will need pretty much just the iron in. A few hundred as well. That'll output to a limited chest. And this one will get that one in. So what if we just do this now? Take you, remove that one, and place it down where it's needed. Oh, here. Oh, that's gonna affect a bit right there. But if we do this, it should be fine. And we'll just have to do... Well, inputs are fine. Please remove those two. Did I mess it up? That's iron in. That's in. That goes in as well. That goes into this one. Out. So I think this should work. Just need to hook up the last one here. Yeah, that looks like a somewhat decent beacon setup. Output into the middle all the way across, with hopefully no problems when doing it like this. And we have power to everything. Ooh, just barely. And then we should be able to just stamp this upwards. Let's give it a bit of power just to check. That is going in, that's producing. This will bottleneck at some point a small amount, but that is looking as intended. So let's take this and let's go upwards. Pretty much remove that one first. There we are. And that is a somewhat, let's remove these outside ones here. That is a somewhat beautiful setup. This is producing a lot, but it's also requiring quite a bit of resources since we have no productivity yet. That is what we're working towards. So can we... Now we can do a bit different on this one. Pretty much just doing... This setup is actually all we should want. If things are collecting up correctly. That is touching, so this should actually be like we wanted. Of course, we can't fit that much inside these cells, and that is a bit of an issue. But that's just the way it is at the moment. These are working non-stop. And they are slowly going down. I think what does it look like? Consuming 900, producing 600. That's not a sustainable way. Oh, let's remember to hook this one up. Oh, we're missing one over here. Seems that was the leftover from earlier. So that's the green circuits going. Just building up these. Of course, we have checked that they limit themselves. So here comes the swarm of robots. That will also mean that we should probably add in a bit of things here. Is anything else getting jammed anywhere? Not really, to be honest. But we do need to figure out this over here. So let's just do this one. That's right. Here we'll soon have some radar coverage. And there and there. So that will at least give us a bit more flowing. Is this keeping up? It's easily keeping up. Is the power keeping up? There is no problem at all in paradise. At least not until we'll start to use a lot more robots. One thing I will go and change is the input for it. I kind of want... No, it's fine. We'll probably give it a stack insert instead though, because we need it to throw in the robots as fast as possible. And maybe just remove the limit on the chest in here. So you can have a stack one to throw it in. And we are only stacking 500 at a time. kind of want a few more. There we are. You can please do 2 rows. I want more of these made. So our base is looking very, very good. Bit sad I'll need to redesign this. Mostly because we can't have both beacon touching. We could probably... we could just leave it and not really care about it. These are still touching correctly. This one has a bit of room, so it will not go at maximum speed, but we can have more inside these columns. So I think that could be good enough. Well, that's a project for a future date. If we look at science, we are still missing to get the rest of our utility science done, and that is pretty much our processing units and our low density structures. Since we are over here, let's just set up a bit of a production for low density structures. That is gonna tax our system a lot. I kinda have a feeling that's gonna be the case. So let's just build it down here. So low density structures, pretty simple, just input. So we can pretty much steal some easy setup. Which one do we want? One in. It's pretty much just gonna be a setup like this. Again. So let's take this part. It's gonna be fully beaconed. Remove that. Say OK. And place it down in here. There we are. And then to add a few chests, let's give these so we can upgrade it very soon. And then change you for low density structure. That should be all we need for it to work. So probably give this, just these we have right here, productivity, since they do cost a bit, even though they have quite a long crafting time. I will almost never produce any. How many is needed? 3. So yeah, let's try this for now. Please request everything you need. Let's get it up a bit more. Don't mind stacking a small amount in this. So that will give us a small amount of low density structures. But without any beaconing, it's not gonna be that many. So that is looking good. There's plastic flowing in, everything's flowing in. So it won't cut, what is it? Crafting speed, half a second. So it means it takes 40 seconds to make one. So it's almost no drain on our current setup. But yeah, that is fine. How? Oh, let's mark things on the map again. This will be low density structures. We added another green circuit over here. Red is fine. We'll have to look at the blue very soon. The problem is we don't even have it beaconed. So we'll have to do some kind of beacon setup with it. And I don't think we can do anywhere where we can hit both sides. We can probably get it in the middle, but we could just maybe keep it like this. I think that could work as our setup. But is that what's holding us back at the moment? It should probably be. Processing units. Yeah, that is holding back all our productivity things from going to the next level. But here we go. Loading structures going in. These will start to work. And then we are very, very, very good. So should we, how's it looking? Oh, advanced circuits going down at an alarming rate. So what is a good way to fix it? We could do this one more time. Or we could, yeah, let's do one more of these. I think that might be the best way to solve it right now. I would rather do what's called something else, but since I'm lacking red circuits for things, this will be the compromise. There we go. Please go red advanced circuits. Perfect. So let's see here. Green is going up. Let's see, 3.5. We are consuming everything we're producing, but we are also bottlenecked a lot of places. Might want to try and cut this one off and see how a normal base handles it. And we also need to set up stone production soon. Right now we're just taking it from our old base all the way back here, but that could be fine because we do have almost 1k supplying stone to our base. So let's see, what should we do? First thing, we'll have to wait for this one to get done. We could upgrade all of these to yellow ones. That will increase our production by almost 100%. It'll give us more than 50, it'll give us like 80% more production. If things can handle it, that is another question. But rather than running out of these when we do have the resources we need, then let's do that. Please take you, go from this one to the next assembler. And please just do that. That should slowly get upgraded now. We do have about 500 in storage. At least that's what we built up over a long time. So that is fine. Could do the same over here, but green is, as far as it's still good. But right now we're requesting a lot for all of these. That's going to become quite congested over here. Well, that is fine. It's not the end of the world. And we're probably going to start to commission a lot more robots to go do our bidding. So that's more drain on this one. That has some drain as well. Could add in some more solar as the last thing this episode, as things get up and running. I don't want to run out of power, and I'm in no way, shape or form close to it. So yeah, we'll just wait a minute with the solar, because I actually don't know why. We could just start it. Let's put down some solar. Never question putting down more power, because I know we will need it in the future. So let's do this. There we are. And we'll have to do one right here. I think will fit in. We'll have to connect over this way. That's half a solar field. Also just because it had a scan right there. Oh, that's why. So we'll have to fix that when we remember next episode, hopefully. There we are. Look at them all go. They are all just clearing out trees for days. So that is fine. And how about utility signs? Has it produced any? Oh, it's produced 4. That means we actually have a small amount of signs stored up in our labs. Right here. Would you look at that? That is a beautiful sight. That's 6 out of the 7 sciences done. Then we only need to set up rockets. And then we are actually at a very, very good spot to start to do some research, getting our bot speed up and running so we can finally tap into all of this power we have. 1.6 gigawatt is what is hitting at night. We can produce 2.1 a day, so we should be more than fine in terms of power. So with that, I will end the episode here. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Hopefully you'll give me a like and a subscribe, and then I will see you in the next episode. Bye, guys.